In this video I'm going to show you how to repair a Toyota Avensis Verso car door, the electric door motor. So this is the dirty culprit. This is about a $4 motor which prevents the lock from opening. I'm going to show you how to replace this lock. Okay, the first thing we need to do is to get this door panel off. It's not so hard as it looks. First of all, there's a little screw here you can see here. We're going to have to take that screw off. Okay. And then there's another screw that's behind this panel right in here. The best way to take this off is to take a screwdriver in here and pry this open here, and there's another screw behind there. So we're going to go ahead and do that now. So what we're going to have to do now is pull off this door panel. They're just snaps here. Don't worry about breaking it. You won't really break it. It sounds terrible, but it won't break. Just pull it off. Go ahead and pull off like that. And you just lift it right off. Recommend taking these two screws off here so you can remove the door panel from the latch mechanism. I got the one screw off. The other screw is right behind in there, behind the cable in there. I'd already taken this door apart once. I didn't take the plastic off because the screw behind it was already off, but I'm going to go ahead and pull it off now, this plastic cover, so that we can get the latch out. So you see it comes right out. It's just a little catch like that. Okay, now I can get this latch off the door. Okay, we got it off. Okay, and then we can unplug this here. This plug here, this is the power window connector here. Go ahead and plug that. Little catch here. Basically you're pushing there to pull it out. So it's by pushing here with your finger you can pull it out. Okay, now I can remove this door panel. That makes my life a lot easier. Let me get by here. Okay, now what we want to do is, I would recommend first, we're going to take these three star screws off here, and then we're going to have to also remove this screw. Now the reason why we have to remove this screw is because, as you can see in here, there's a window roller catch here, where the window slides in here. We need to remove that screw in order to get the mechanism out from underneath. So I'm going to go ahead and remove these three screws here, 1, 2, 3. We're going to remove this one, it's 10 millimeter. We're also going to go ahead and remove these two also. These two are holding in the door mechanism. They're also all 10 millimeters. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 screws we're going to take out now. Here, this is a machine threaded screw that goes in here. And this other one's a sheet metal screw that goes in here. So make sure you keep the screws, track of which ones go where. This is the real fun part. We got to get this mechanism out. Okay, so it's all loose now. Now, if you look down here, right down here, you can see I've got to get this. See this metal screw my finger's on right here? That's the catch for the door handle. We need to get this around the bottom of the guide for the window to get it out. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. I have to remove this plug also. This is the power plug here. So we just push in this tab like that with a screwdriver and pull it right out. Okay, now I'm going to remove this component here by, as I said, to guide that screw around the bottom of the ledge. This is a little tricky. Through the plastic like this. Remember, when you put it back in reverse order, just pull it out. Now I can take it in the house and continue working, so we'll do that now. Before we take it apart, I want to point out a couple things. First of all, we're going to be taking this component off. Then here is where the motor is located. You can see there's a bracket here which attaches to this lever here, and there's a little pin here that actually fits in this plastic part in here. I'll take that apart, but to put it back together, to be quite careful. There's also a little wire attaching here that's actually the pulley that pulls the door mechanism. That's actually the lock mechanism, this part. So we're going to have to release this wire as well. So I'll do it, and you can just watch as I do it. First of all, we'll be taking these two screws off. So I'll take these screws off. now I have to get it out. So I'll basically just pull this out here. It's going to come out of this lever here. See the lever there? We're going to pull out of that pin there. That's released. This pin just fell out. That's fine. And then we're going to get it off this wire. Now you just basically turn it like that and pull it right out. Okay, now we're ready to open it. Now, I've already opened this once before, but what you want to do is you want to pry it open here. You can do that using a screwdriver. What I actually did is I took a hacksaw and I just sliced it a little bit in here to make it easier to open up. You can glue it back together using glue, but I've read some stories that glue often falls apart, so I just used some strong tape on that. But you can try using the glue if you want. So I'll probably put the tape back on new tape when I'm done with it. Now we'll open it up. Okay, there you can see the motor. Now this particular model is quite easy because you just pull it right out. And this with the Avensis Verso motor, you can just pull that gear right off. It comes right off. This is called a short flat-sided shaft, as you can see the shaft here. So if you're going to order a new one, you need to order that. And I'll show you now the website. I'll get the laptop 1 second. Okay, I've gone to eBay. The manufacturer is called Mabuchi Nikobo, and you can just go right to this site. I recommend this is the best site I found. And you can see it says type here, and depending on what kind of a motor you need, you can just select which one you need. So in the case of the Avensis Verso, what we had was a flat shaft standard length. It's about 10 millimeter length, so that's what you need for the Avensis Verso. Okay, that's the one I bought. Price here is $6. Okay, and it took about, I got it within about, actually within 2 weeks, so that's quite good. And I live here abroad in Europe. So this is the old motor. Got a little sticker on the old one. And I don't know if this is needed, this thing, but well, we'll go ahead and stick it on the new one. Can't hurt. Okay, so I'm going to put that gear right back in. It just slides right in. So you got the flat side of the motor shaft. You just put the flat in the flat. It's really easy. You don't need a gear remover or anything like that. And we're going to put it back in like that. Okay. Now I'm going to put the cover back on. These pins fit right into the motor, so you want to make sure that goes nicely together again. Now I'm going to put a little bit of, I'm just going to use tape, some tape here on the side, a little bit of the side, so I'll do that right now. Pull it this way, so you put it on like this, and then just come around like that. Okay, and I'm going to get it around here. Now I've got to get this little pin. The other side of that black pin has to go in that white, back into the white track of the white pulley. So we're going to have to get that in there. This takes a little bit of finger work. I'll briefly show you. You see we've got the flat pin against the edge here, okay, in there. And we'll do a little test now. Okay, so when you close the door, you're actually pushing this in, and when you open it, it'll push it up. Okay, I've got it locked right now, so I'll unlock it, and there you can see. If you've done this properly, it will release it. So when I pull it open, if this pin is turned the other way, it will not work. The whole system will not work. And we can also show you how the outside works. What happens is this gets pulled up. So that way it gets pulled up like that, and that's how it would normally open from the outside. So if I were to, you can see it's opening now. If I lock it, this has no effect on the outside. So that's how the whole mechanism works. We've completed now the repair. Basically, you put it back the same way that you put it, took it out, just reverse order. There's one important thing. When you put it back in the car, you'll see a little, inside the door, you'll see like a little pin that looks like this that has to rest on here. That attaches to the outside latch, okay? Because when you pull on the outside handle, this pushes down and it opens up the car, okay? So you want to make sure you see like a little like V-shaped pin that has to fit here when you slide it back in the door. For the rest, it's all the same. Don't forget to put your plugs in here. to connect it and connect the power window plug, and it should work. Thank you.